If anything from the outside bothers you, it's not the object itself that bothers you, it's your thoughts about it, and you can erase that judgment right now. In our constantly evolving and fast-paced society, worry has become a regular companion for a lot of us. Life's ups and downs force us to overcome anxiety, fear, and the uncertainty of what lies ahead. What if there was a method to de-stress and improve one's internal state? In this video, we'll discuss the ancient practice of Stoicism and how its teachings can keep us composed in the face of chaos. The philosophical tradition of Stoicism originated in ancient Greece and Rome. People have been using its concepts for guidance and education for about 2 millennia. The foundation of Stoicism is the notion that although we are powerless over the events in our lives, we are capable of altering our reactions to them. When things go wrong, we can discover inner peace and strength by concentrating on the things we can alter. The Stoic path advises us to focus on acquiring virtues like wisdom, courage, patience, and justice. These principles are not only helpful in overcoming obstacles in life, but they are also essential to living a fulfilling existence. We can learn to understand that things change and that life is just temporary by adopting a patient mindset. This kind of acceptance releases us from concern and allows us to gratefully and peacefully savor the present. One of the most significant ways that Stoicism can help us cope with concern is by altering our perspective. We can learn to take a step back and observe our thoughts and feelings without becoming sucked into them when they get too intense. In this way, we become aware that our fear is frequently not about the objects themselves, but rather our thoughts about them. We are able to reframe our experiences and regain emotional mastery. Now that we understand the definition of Stoicism and its potential benefits for reducing anxiety, let's examine the ideas of 3 well-known Stoic philosophers: Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These brilliant minds left behind a wealth of practical knowledge that is still in use today after they passed away. Seneca lived in the 1st century AD and was a Roman politician, philosopher, and writer. His writings, such as Letters to Lucilius and On the Shortness of Life, help us to grasp human nature and the meaning of a meaningful existence. We may focus on cultivating our inner values and learn how to deal with life's uncertainties thanks to what he writes. In contrast, one of the most significant Stoic philosophers of antiquity was Epictetus, who lived after Christ. His works, such as Discourses and Enchiridion, show us how crucial it is to understand the boundaries between our controllable and uncontrollable situations. Epictetus advises us to focus on cultivating our virtues and to be at peace with life's uncertainties. And last, the most well-known Stoic is probably Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher and emperor of Rome. His book Meditations is an assortment of his private musings and emotions that demonstrate how a great leader addressed the emotions and issues that affect us all. He wrote a few pieces that will deepen our understanding of Stoicism. We'll examine and discuss the top 10 sayings from these well-known intellectuals today in an effort to reduce stress and find serenity in our hectic life. Watching the video will take a little longer than usual, but the wait will be worthwhile. I'll start now. We suffer more often in our fantasies than in real life, as stated in the first lesson. This serves as a stark reminder of how our ideas can exacerbate our suffering. People frequently experience anxiety as a result of imagining horrible outcomes and circumstances, even when they are uncommon. Basically, we suffer needlessly because our imaginations amplify our anxiety and terror. To further understand this concept, let's examine how concern functions. When we worry about something or fear for our safety, our brains become more vigilant. This is how our bodies defend ourselves against injury. However, when we imagine dangers that do not exist, our minds trap us in a cycle of anxiety and terror. The quotation from Seneca tells us that we must challenge ourselves and adopt new perspectives. We don't have to let our anxieties control us when we acknowledge that our imaginations might cause anxiety. We have the option to instead concentrate on the present moment and what is actually happening. This enables us to view the situation from a fresh perspective and realize that worries are typically the result of our ideas, rather than an accurate reflection of reality. Now that we are clear on this concept, let's apply what we have discovered about history to our daily lives. Deep breathing exercises and meditation are examples of mindfulness techniques that help us focus again on the here and now. We can stop the cycle of worry and anxiety as we get more conscious of our thoughts and feelings, which lessens the intensity of our mental suffering. The Stoic can feel pain but does not suffer, according to the second lesson. Epictetus informs us that although life will bring both physical and mental suffering, we have the freedom to choose whether or not to endure it. This quote's meaning, which may not make sense, is that while we can't completely escape suffering or issues in life, we can decide how to handle them. Our natural tendency is frequently to fight, resist, or cry when we are in discomfort or danger. These common actions can make our pain worse and prolong its duration. Stoicism advises us to adopt a different perspective on things. We can learn to cope with suffering and embrace it as a natural part of life, but we cannot avoid it. The way we regulate ourselves holds the key to this shift in vision. While the events in our environment are beyond our control, we are able to alter how we respond to them. Once we acknowledge that experiencing pain is an inherent aspect of being human, we may cease exacerbating our own misery by giving in and whining. We can apply Stoic imagery as a helpful technique. This entails foreseeing negative outcomes and considering how we would respond to them coolly and forcefully. By doing this, we teach our minds to handle issues in a composed manner, which lessens our suffering. The third lesson focuses on how our ideas and preconceptions can alter how we perceive the world. According to Marcus Aurelius, if you are distressed by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. We frequently blame other people or external circumstances for our stress, but the true issue is in the way we interpret these things. The way our brains perceive and interpret the world is greatly influenced by them. We invent a narrative to justify our negative feelings when we condemn or label something as unjust or terrible. It is possible to debate and revise this tale. With the knowledge we've gained, we may begin to critically examine the snap decisions we make to determine if they are based on biased beliefs or inaccurate facts. We can perceive things more fairly and realistically, and experience less anxiety when we challenge our preconceived notions. Lesson 4. According to Epictetus, he who is coming to terms with who he is and is not embarrassed to have a man without education as his teacher. This quotation demonstrates how crucial self-awareness is to achieving inner calm. Frequently, external influences such as the opinions of others or societal norms mold our thoughts and emotions. Conversely, Stoicism encourages us to take command of our life by mastering the understanding and regulation of our ideas. Learning to reflect on and evaluate oneself is a crucial aspect of self-awareness. We must examine our own values, beliefs, and emotional reactions in order to have a deeper understanding of who we are and the reasons behind our actions. By doing this, we can identify areas where we can develop and improve. Keeping a self-reflection book and journaling our thoughts and feelings on a daily basis is one beneficial technique. This aids in identifying patterns in our behavior and the reasons behind our actions. Enhancing our self-awareness leads to more informed decision-making and ensures that our activities align with our objectives and beliefs. This lessens the tension that results from being unsure of what to do or inconsistent. Never say to yourself, "I cannot do this," but rather, "I will not do this," said Marcus Aurelius. This passage from him highlights the significance of having a good outlook and perseverance. Negative and constrained beliefs that tell us we can't overcome difficult circumstances or accomplish our goals are often the root cause of our stress. Strong, resolute thinking is what Stoicism instructs us to do. Rather than dwelling on our limitations, we ought to focus on our strengths and devise strategies to achieve our objectives through positive actions. You cannot disregard issues or challenges in order to accomplish this. You have to be brave and resolute when facing them. We can use the lessons we've learnt on a daily basis by treating ourselves well. Rather of convincing ourselves that we are incapable of achieving our goals, we ought to motivate ourselves to keep moving forward in spite of obstacles. By doing this, we can cultivate a robust and powerful mindset that reduces our anxiety in the face of challenges and the unknown. Sixth lesson. The only true good is virtue. Seneca's quotation highlights the significance of morality in Stoic philosophy. Stoics hold that genuine happiness and inner serenity can only be attained by consistently putting virtues like wisdom, bravery, justice, and moderation into practice. Pursuing ideals gives our lives meaning and purpose and encourages us to live by our highest principles. Improving oneself is only one aspect of being a better person. Another is improving the world. Putting this lesson into practice can be done by creating goals that are based on values rather than merely material or external objectives. Instead of pursuing wealth, notoriety, or power, we should make an effort to be more reasonable, courageous, intelligent, and moderate in all that we do. We discover a deeper source of joy and reduce the tension that results from constantly aiming to acquire more stuff by doing this. Lesson 7. Our bodies and minds belong to us, not the other way around. Seneca's quotation highlights the significance of realizing that we are not in total control of the outside world or the events that occur in it. Still, we have control over our own bodies and minds. This implies that while we can't always escape difficulties, we can always decide how to handle them. Putting what you've learned to use would be to begin practicing mindfulness. Being attentive entails paying attention to our thoughts and feelings while remaining in the present. We can then deliberately decide what to do rather than just acting on instinct. The tension that results from wishing we could change circumstances beyond our control is mitigated when we concentrate on the things we can control, our own behaviors, attitudes, and reactions. When life throws us curveballs, knowing that we are in control of our own bodies and thoughts, and that we are not a part of outer forces can help us feel powerful and at peace with ourselves. The 8th lesson is as follows. Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for others to change and start changing yourself. This quotation emphasizes how crucial it is to take responsibility for our own happiness. We frequently believe that other people or things will make us happy, which might cause anxiety when they don't. Stoicism advises us to seek happiness within rather than outside of ourselves. Rather of waiting for other people to change, we have the power to decide how we will react to their actions and words. We have the option to accept and care for other people rather than being irate or upset with them. By doing this, we deprive other people of their ability to control our enjoyment and develop our emotional independence. This provides us a longer-lasting sense of inner serenity and reduces our anxiety when engaging with others. Lesson 9. True wealth is not wanting more. This Epictetus quotation demonstrates that contentment with existing possessions, rather than acquiring more, is the true measure of prosperity. Worry frequently stems from a constant want for more success, money, or possessions. Rather than constantly demanding more, Stoicism encourages us to be content with what we have and express gratitude for it. While this doesn't imply we shouldn't have aspirations, it does mean we should be aware that achieving our objectives won't bring us happiness in and of itself. By expressing gratitude, we can apply this lesson to our daily lives. Often, reflecting on our blessings makes us more aware of and appreciative of the positive aspects of our existence. We feel better and more satisfied when we are not as stressed about constantly wanting more. 10th lesson. You need not much, you need very little. Seneca's quotation illustrates how our wants are typically straightforward and small, and how constantly wanting more can lead to tension and excess. Stoicism advises us to focus on the essentials and keep things straightforward. We can be content with less and concentrate on the things that truly matter, such as our relationships, health, and personal development, rather than worrying about material demands. We may put what we've learned into practice in our daily lives by practicing overindulging and letting go of material possessions. If we are deliberate about how we spend our time and money, we can feel less concerned about money and the need to acquire more stuff. By watching this far through the film, you've shown that you're really committed to your own development and well-being. It is admirable how committed you are to comprehending and putting the tenets of Stoicism into practice. Remember that your Stoic road is a continuous process of improvement and strength building. By embracing Stoic principles and putting them into action on a daily basis, you can improve your problem-solving skills, maintain inner peace, and lead a more fulfilling life. Your dedication to Stoicism will result in a life marked by increased emotional regulation, more self-awareness, and increased tranquility. Continue working hard, continuing to study, and continuing to live a morally upright life, just as seeing a whole movie demonstrates your commitment to learning. Without a doubt, the fruits of your labor will be shown in the end. For more Stoic wisdom, inspiration, and practical advice on how to better yourself, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed what you heard and want to continue on your path with us. We appreciate your participation in our group's efforts to develop and learn.